Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we get into this video, please, if you haven't already, consider subscribing. Over 85% of people that watch my video in the last couple of weeks are not subscribed. I'm gonna be here every day, even whenever I'm in LA traveling. Alright, okay, so let's get into today's video. Now, if you're aware, yesterday we posted a video talking about the situation that is currently going on with Ava Kris Tyson, who was a member of the Mr. Beast videos, and I basically had this conversation about like everything that I had been seeing and being tagged in, and ultimately like I kind of had this conversation where I was saying that obviously Ava Kris Tyson is a trans woman, and I was saying that it's really unfortunate that it seems that there has been people that have just ran with the allegations that have came forward about Ava Kris Tyson and basically said that, oh, well, it basically means that every single person that is LGBTQ plus IA is a predator or is a groomer. Oh, here's another one. Further proof that they're all groomers and all predators. And there's just been so much hate speech on trans people in general, basically being like, well, this confirms another one dying, which basically shows that every single transgender person is a predator, is a pedophile. And I'm like, this is why this topic was so frustrating to talk about, because basically the story that has came forward against Ava Kris Tyson is acting inappropriately with a minor and having this really weird dialogue with a minor and just crossing boundaries, speaking inappropriately, and it's all wrong, and Ava Kris Tyson should be called out for that. But people are not calling Ava Kris Tyson out for that. People are basically saying that people are calling Ava Kris Tyson out for being trans and then lumping every single transgender person ever to being a predator or a groomer. And I'm like, okay, so y'all don't even care about the topic at hand. You don't even care about speaking out against the person who's speaking out against Ava Kris Tyson at all. You actually are just using this as an excuse to spew your hate speech against trans people, which you do anyway, but now you're using this as an excuse on why it's okay to. And it's just been really frustrating, and I have zero tolerance for it in my comment section. And I blocked so many people yesterday that were just spewing trans hate. Go fuck yourself, honestly. I think that you should be able to call someone out for predatory behavior or inappropriate behavior with a minor without lumping that in with like an entire, like, what is wrong with you? Like, genuinely, how like brain dead are you? Like, but you're not, because you know what you're doing, which is you have a prejudice against trans people and you're always waiting for an opportunity to bring that community down in any sort of way. And it's really interesting that the main people that have been calling this topic out are people that have, like, it's so funny, I've been seeing all these creators who've been making this very anti-trans content in relation to Ava Kris Tyson, and I'm like, oh my god, that's really interesting, because you are so quiet about most of your friends being rapists, or your friends that have sexual allegations, but because your friend isn't a trans person, you don't want to call that out, right? That's what really bothers me about this. So call Ava Kris Tyson out for being inappropriate with minors and having inappropriate dialogue and crossing boundaries and genuinely just being inappropriate with minors. That's what the topic is. How fucking dare you? All these creators I'm seeing making this content being like, this proves that trans people are dangerous and it's the left propaganda and woke propaganda. And I'm like, that's so funny, because people have been asking you to talk about your friends who are rapists. And you don't talk about that. You know why? Because they're always straight men. So go fuck yourself. Anyways. So, I've been getting tagged in this a lot. So this content creator, Finster, who I think is just called Finn, they made a video and it's called My Relationship with Ava Kris Tyson. So let's get to it. I've been tagged in this a lot. It has 16.3 million views already, and all the responses are just filled with anti-trans hate. So it's very frustrating to cover this topic because no one cares about the topic of Ava Kris Tyson being inappropriate with a minor. Everyone just cares about the opportunity to try and marginalize a very marginalized group already. Go fuck yourself.
Ava Kris Tyson situation. And if you don't, the main plot line is that she was both publicly and privately talking inappropriately to a minor. If you're someone that looked up to Ava, I get it. 90% of what's out there is just people throwing slurs and lying about things. I get that you want to immediately jump to a defense. I'm obviously not going to be doing that. But from the perspective of someone that used to be a fairly close friend, let's go through what she said and did so you get context of the situation and you'll understand why I'm distancing myself and you'll see a bunch of other people distancing themselves too. I don't know if you can tell by the dead look in my eyes here, but I didn't exactly see this news coming. And it's pretty so let's look. So everyone's seen this one. I get the defense. It was 2016, edgy jokes, whatever. I know the sort of shit that I said back in 2016 when I was a 16-year-old. So quite frankly, I didn't care when I saw it. It's more that there are a lot of tabs on my screen and you can see how many of them are going to be quite bad. I want to focus on a couple things that I can personally verify, as I don't think anyone really has yet. So what I'm mainly going to be focused on is not the stuff that's just edgy jokes, it's the stuff where they're interacting publicly with someone who's underage. And I believe the youngest this person I'm going to go over was, they were 13, and the oldest they were 16. I am no mogul male, I don't know when things were when, but let's be real, if it was 16 or 13, it's still pretty bad. Ava or Chris, I'm going to just go with Ava, used to have a Patreon page, and Lava was one of the people that donated briefly. Ava's follow-up to Lava was that she said she posted some for you, please no share, which is cringe. This was also over 6 years ago, and the landscape of what you could talk about on the internet and joke about was different, but I don't think it really ever involved.
I know, but jokes, not jokes, anything, still inappropriate to be doing that with someone who is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That is the thing. That is wrong.
Talking to minors like this. Here, Lava posts a screenshot in a public Discord from a Snapchat they got from Chris saying coming for America. Now, to be honest with you,
again, I'm going to be honest as well. No content creator needs to be sending Snapchats to any of their fans that are underage because you already have a power dynamic and we shouldn't have to explain it. Sexual jokes or not, it's wrong, point blank, period, to be doing that with your underage fans because they idolize you so much and you can do no wrong. And a lot of people tend to take advantage of that, so just don't fucking do it.
A bunch of the videos that were made on this framed things very weirdly, and I was immediately on edge and guarded about believing them, especially in the manner that it was presented. Throwing slurs out there, I've managed to get a few threats already, which is fun. To someone like me who has met Chris once. These are the people in my DMs calling me a lot of slurs and myself, so I usually take their opinions at face value. But then I saw this. This is Lava responding in 2018 to Ava, which said, does she know about your hentai addiction? And I had the Peter Quill fucking eyes wide open shot after he figures out his dad, his mom. I had this with that tweet because Ava has spoken to me about hentai, which is fine in the context of two adults having a conversation, especially when one of them does work like me.
Hold on. Need to look up what hentai is. Don't know what it is. Hentai meaning. Hentai is a genre of Japanese manga and anime characterized by overly sexual characters and sexually explicit images. Let me go into images. I think I saw a lot of this in Japan, actually. Okay, I saw a lot of this in Japan. Okay, I did not know the context of that. Now I know the context of that. Why are you having any conversation like that with a child? It's wrong, and it's inappropriate, and it should not be happening.
And it wasn't like it was sprung on me either. There was an ask of can we talk about this? And I said yes. But under no
minor
circumstances should a child have ever heard that. You know, having said that, I don't know how they heard it. They talked a lot publicly, and it seems like a bit privately. Going onto the Drama Alert Twitter, they posted this video.
This ain't true. And this screenshot is Kris Tyson talking one-on-one with him. And at this point, he would have been 16. And here we go.
Now, Lava himself responded to it. Lava responded to a quartering tweet saying that there were no sexual messages exchanged. I would venture to say if you're talking about hentai, maybe not. I see that as fairly sexual. Now, I really highly doubt that that was ever talked about explicitly to Lava, as Lava's been really outspoken about it. Making tweets saying these videos are massive lies, twisting the truth. Ava never did anything wrong and just made a few edgy jokes. I was never exploited or taken advantage of. Can you do me the favor and comment on these videos and tell them stop spreading lies? The situation takes away from children who are actively being exploited every day online. I am not a victim of anything being claimed in these videos or at all. Talking about the videos that were made on the situation, and then in response saying I'm not a victim, I'm not backpedaling any statements I've already made. Everything I've stated is still very very true. Nothing bad happened between me and Chris. People are creating lies around my name. And then he talks about crediting the right videos that need to be taken down, in his opinion. Personally, I believe him, but it doesn't really matter. Most people's first thing is you're a victim, we can't really take your word on this. But look, even if there were no messages like that exchanged, I really highly doubt Ava is a groomer like people are saying. If they're saying nothing happened, I'm gonna go with nothing happened. But even with what's confirmed publicly, it's bad. There should be no like jokes about nudes or hentai exchanging or a ton of other screenshots.
And there should never be the opportunity, specifically when it comes to talking with a child, of people having to figure out whether it is inappropriate or not. The public should never be in a position where they have to have a conversation on whether what you're talking to a child about is inappropriate or not. It should be point blank period that you're not even doing anything alluding to having an inappropriate conversation with a child or being inappropriate with a child, online or not.
Between Lava and Chris that I don't think were appropriate. No matter how Lava feels about it now, it doesn't change the fact that it was still weird and wrong and gross. Also, sorry, I'm about to flashbang you. Yeah. I'm sure you've seen a ton of this, and I have nothing unique to add. That's a guy called Shadman. Shadman does awful, criminal stuff on the internet. I can't put it any other way. He draws child. It's just quite bad, isn't it? It's not even like, oh, it's a cartoon character, so it doesn't technically count. No, they drew of a real kid. Keemstar's kid, actually. To which Keemstar did leak some DMs and say, you didn't apologize to me a month ago in private when I brought up your behavior, supporting a cartoon CP artist that drew my 8-year-old daughter in a way. What changed? And honestly, he's putting it lightly that Shadman did that. I've seen the image blurred, and I don't feel comfortable showing it here. It's very bad. And the reason why people are bringing up Shadman is because Ava had a piece of artwork by him. This was just printed out. I'm not going to show it because this one isn't a real kid, but it's awful. And one last thing that came.
Why are people not focusing on that? Like, there are things to focus on here that Ava Kris Tyson needs to be called out for. Commissioning artwork off of someone who literally draws CP? What the fuck are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Why are you supporting someone like that, and why are you getting stuff commissioned like that? What is wrong with you? And that's something on its own. And then you're also talking with people that are like 13 publicly and privately? That's what we need to be calling out.
Came out was a video was shared, leaked. I'm not really sure of way back in the day that she made a video talking about Jeanette McCurdy from iCarly, specifically when revenge of her was leaked.
How's it going, you guys? So you'll probably see the photos get taken down at some point tonight, maybe tomorrow, because Nickelodeon has that kind of power. But the link's in the description if you want to see them. I mean, I'm not endorsing people to go look at somebody else's private business, but I know that people might want to see them.
Yet again, another thing to call Ava Kris Tyson out on. Literally promoting revenge porn. That is things to cover. And how dare people lump all of this with, this is what trans people are like. Fuck you. Fuck you.
So it's there if you want it.
The rest of the video goes on to talk about how sharing revenge is wrong, but it was linked in the description, which, what? But okay, why am I even making this in the first place? This is easily one of those things that I could just talk about on stream or never mention and just deal with it in therapy, that I was friends with this person. And the reason is me and Ava have known each other for a while. Back around late 2022, early 2023, we started talking a lot more, playing video games, and discussing the possibility that they might transition. And at the time, I was already on estrogen, and so they wanted to know some info about it. Basically just to check that her doctors had given her all the information she could get. And I was very supportive, and we continued chatting about transition stuff, just life in general. We unboxed some CSGO knives, and a little bit after that, she came out. Kind of. Where she said, like, I'm on HRT, but, like, I don't know the pronouns yet. And I got a phone call. I was invited to a Mr. Beast shoot out in Tokyo. Now, at the time, oh my fucking god. Dude, this fucking haunts me. Okay, I'll give you context. I was hanging out with someone called Soda at the time that had flown in from the States to meet me, who was another close friend that I had that was in, like, sort of the industry. And so, we went to Tokyo. We all went. We went shopping and we hung out and we took this selfie. I thought that I was invited pretty much just for fun, but not really, apparently. See, this person in the middle here is called Soda. This year, on my birthday, weirdly enough, Ava made this tweet, which has now since been deleted, but I did take issue with this. But it's worth noting that I followed up with Ava on this, and then a week later she got back to me with a big apology about this statement. But still, I feel like it's important to give context. There's some awful shit about Soda that we're going to get to in a second, but she said, finally going to talk about this because it doesn't involve me and I don't know any of the guys involved. I invited someone to Japan because I was going through it mentally. My testosterone and E levels were bad. So I invited the person I was kind of friends with because they had just started HRT and I also had a crush on them. I didn't know that at the time. They asked me if they could bring a friend, and since it was a Mr. Beast video, I said yes because there'd be some downtime. I met the person 3 times total before I realized they were into each other, and then I left because I felt like I'd been used for a free date to Japan and was kind of left as a third wheel. Never talked to them again except a reply on Twitter because there is one picture of us in the same place. People call me a... Now, this is the photo they're referring to, and I get why they made that statement. It is not true. Ava knew who Soda was. I had prior introduced them. It wasn't just, can I bring this random person along? And it was also not someone that I was interested in, because what I messaged her about after it came out was saying, I didn't know you felt that way. I would have thought very differently about this trip if I knew. But the part that Ava says where she left fairly quickly is true. I didn't know why, and the reason was given to me that she wanted to go see her kid, which is fair. I've never been a parent. I assume that you probably care about them. I don't know. Also, we have spoken since. I'm not sure why they threw that in, because we made a video together. And in regards to everything involving Soda, Soda was also involved in a different bit of drama, sounds like the wrong word. DMs were leaked between Soda and an actual file, where Soda is role-playing and going along with a file's fantasies. Nothing super explicit, but the phrase, yay, child was used, which I found weird. And shortly after that controversy, communication very quickly slowed with both of them. Ava didn't want to talk to Soda, brand risk. Ava didn't want to talk to me, brand risk. It didn't fit the branding image of Mr. Beast, which is fair enough. I was told that going into when we did the shoot in Tokyo. I was just sort of a standby. I was never going to be in the video because, obviously, I'm not exactly a kid-safe content creator. I'm not exactly PG. It was very quickly and very rightfully at the point where kind of no one talks to each other out of that photo anymore. But that photo does exist, and good God, it will haunt me forever. I'm not proud to have called those people my friends. Everything in this situation is just gross and weird, and it's sick. Our morals very clearly don't align, and now I have some fun trust issues to work through in therapy. That photo of us together while we were having a nice time at the time, no one knew anything about anything. The information about Soda Cat came out much later in the year, and we hadn't met up since that photo was taken. But that memory now is just horrible and tainted, and I can't look at it. The final update being Ava has since stepped down from Mr. Beast with not a very apologetic apology. I would like to apologize for
And that's the thing as well that people need to be calling Ava out for, which is the apology that she did was terrible. It was terrible. Like, how are you going to step down from Mr. Beast and do the most vague-ass apology ever for what you rightfully have to address? Like, fuck
any
you.
of my past behavior or comments. If it hurt or offended anyone, it was not my
If
intent.
it hurt anyone.
Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided that it's best that I permanently step away from all things Mr. Beast and social media to focus on my family and mental health. I want to add, I never groomed anyone. The person who brought up these accusations, Lava, has vocally supported that they're false. Having said that, I humbly apologize to anyone who I've hurt with my unacceptable social media posts, past actions, and to those who feel betrayed by how I used to act online. To lump these two factors together to create a narrative that my behavior extended beyond bad, edgy jokes is disgusting and did not happen. In the past years, I have learned that my old humor is not acceptable. I cannot change who I was, but I can continue to work on myself. I don't want these accusations to impact the hundreds of people who work at Mr. Beast, which is why I've stepped away. I don't know. It's just not a good apology. It's just not an apology. I think Ava's statement clarifies the situation well, but even still, a lot of my gripes come from what we know are true and that are checkable on social media. I'm really sorry if I'm the one that brought this news to you. I'm trying to be a bit more upbeat about it, but this has caused me an awful lot of lost sleep over the fact that this was a thing. I think it's good that she stepped down from Mr. Beast, but what she said was weird. This whole situation does just suck. I do understand the people speculating about it, of like, Ava's trans, Soda's non-binary, and I'm whatever I am. I've already seen people online making shit up about me. People posting that screenshot and saying that I have a Discord full of children that I promote OnlyFans to, which is insane. I'm not the owner of the Discord. It's community ran. I haven't spoken in there ever? Have I? Let me check. I must have spoken once or twice. Yeah, in 2021, there's about 5 to 10 mods that I'm paying actively to manage that Discord and to make sure no weird shit goes on in there. And I mean to the extent of we'll ban you if you say your age, no matter what it is. The mods have infinite decision-making power. They can ban whoever. If you talk about my OnlyFans, the fact that I do it, anything sexual at all, you will get banned. But again, I'm not in there. Which is why I'm trying to approach this topic from I get that trans people get an awful lot of shit about everything all the time. But holy shit, man. Trans people deserve rights and respect the same way anyone else gets. But to get that, we have to call out people that have verifiably done wrong in the same way that anyone else does. Making this a trans issue, or misgendering Chris, or throwing around slurs, or hating on trans people that have nothing to do with anything is extremely fucked up. And while I'm used to it and I don't care, it's more that I've seen it to random people now. People in my replies, people in replies to my friends, just random people on Twitter. And also, since I guess I'm connected in some way, there's been a few people that came out saying that the issues at Mr. Beast run a lot deeper, and as of the time I'm recording this, it's the 24th. Nothing has come out about it except for one thing. God damn it. Is this clip of Jimmy talking about a, at the time, 14-year-old celebrity.
He did say that he enjoys the Catch Me Outside girl and thinks she's funny, so let's just...
So that just shows what...
Let's be real. You wouldn't put your dick in her?
And are people gonna call him out? No, because he's a straight white man who has a lot of power and money. And that's what's just so frustrating about this. People don't care. People actually just don't care.
I mean, it's rather...
Oh, dude. Jesus fucking Christ, that silence is rough. I just wanted to say I can't speak to any of that. The people that I met on the team were perfectly nice. I never saw anything weird, but I've been to one away shoot with Mr. Beast, and beside from some obscene wealth displays, there's nothing that I saw that was all that strange, but we're probably just gonna have to wait till Jimmy comes out and says something to learn anything more about this whole situation. Okay, we have an update. Mr. Beast tweeted, "I'm nearly certain a PR team wrote this, but either way. Over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Ava Tyson's behavior online, and I'm disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I have focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct investigations to ensure I have all the facts. That said, I've seen enough online and taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel. I do not condone or support any of the inappropriate actions. I will allow the independent investigators the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation and will take any further actions based on their findings." I'm going to say there will be...
And Mr. Beast doesn't have to apologize for his inappropriate comments? Oh, okay, no. Oh, he does. Okay, okay.
no further action, because there never is. I do kind of call BS a little bit. Obviously, the Shad stuff is fairly worrying, and he also obviously kind of knew about it. I will say, from the brief interaction I have had with Jimmy, I really doubt he knew the extent of it. I just don't think he cares enough to ask Chris about their life like this. It's not really something like, you have to have a really specific group of friends to be able to talk to each other about your sexual stuff. It wasn't brought up to me, and me and Ava did talk about NSFW stuff, I guess. And if it wasn't mentioned to me, I doubt Jimmy knew either. But yeah, damn. All of this is kind of rough, but to be honest with you, on Dev, I'm recording this, it seems like it's pretty much over. I guess we just kind of have to hope that this doesn't spread, like, some general negativity towards trans people, because this is essentially like the adpocalypse, but for trans women. Ava was obviously extremely influential, and it was a very big deal when they came out. I do wish the Mr. Beast team the best, and by scrolling, and the top replies on Twitter is just transphobia. Jesus Christ. It's just every single reply that's either just dead naming or using the wrong pronouns. Although what Ava did is bad, using the right pronouns here does not express your support of Ava. That's kind of just gross. A lot of people are talking shit about Charlie, almost critical, because he never used pronouns in his video, always only addressed them as Ava, which is still fine. It just does sort of highlight your stance on trans people in general. This situation sucks for pretty much everyone involved, but it looks like it's finally over now. Fuck. So there's that. Okay, well, in closing, again, this is an Ava Kris Tyson situation. This is not a trans situation. Can we all be in agreement of that?
Muckers, let me know your opinion of this down below. We'll talk. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.